Good day, Kat Balogan. Good day, grade 9 ST students. Welcome to Kat Balogan City television-based instruction. I am Evelia Sadulio, your advanced chemistry teacher for today. And for today's episode, we will discuss atoms, ions, and molecules. The objective of our lesson is to differentiate and identify atoms, ions, and molecules. Before we proceed, I want you to have with you your module, pen and paper, because there will be some assessment that will be given to you while we are having this video lesson. And if you also have with you your old periodic table of elements, you can also use it. Okay, now let us have a short review about periodic table of elements. Okay, look at your periodic table of elements. And if you do not have, you can just look at the screen and kindly study. Okay, I have here questions regarding periodic table of elements. Okay, question number 1. How many elements do we have in the periodic table of elements? And how about the number of atoms? What is your answer, my dear students? Okay, yes, you're right. The answer is there are 118 elements and also 118 atoms. Okay, question number 2. Why we have the same number of elements and atoms? What is your answer? Very good. Because atom is considered the smallest particle of an element. So if there are 118 elements, there are also 118 atoms. Okay, next question. Is there a shorthand way of writing the name of the elements? And what is it? What is your answer? Yes, class. We have a shortened way of writing the name of the elements and we call it chemical symbols. Very good, class. You got the correct answers. Now, I want you to prepare one half sheet of paper and I want you to answer the following questions. By the way, you can use your periodic table of elements in answering these questions. Give at least 3 elements named after the following. Number 1, country, state or city. 2, famous scientist. And number 3, planets. I will give you 2 minutes to answer these questions. You can start now. Let's check your work. Let's go back to our questions. Okay, question number 1. Name after the country, state, or city. Okay, these are the possible answers. Californium, germanium, francium, strontium, scandium, yttrium, hafnium, ruthenium, gallium, polonium, terbium, holmium, erbium, tholium, ytterbium, lutetium, americium, berkelium, haschum, and scandium. Do you get the correct answer? Okay, next. Name after famous scientists. These are the following elements. We have curium, permium, instanium, borium, seaborgium, rutherfordium, lawrencium, nobelium, mendelevium, and fermium. Do you answer it correctly? And the last one, name after the planet. The possible answers are, we have plutonium, neptunium, uranium, and mercury. Do you get the correct answer, my dear students? Excellent. Okay, let us give ourselves a round of applause. So, let's now study atoms, ions, and molecules. What is an element? Elements are pure substances from which all other things are built. Elements cannot be broken down into simpler substances. Over the centuries, elements have been named for planets, mythological figures, colors, minerals, geographic locations, and famous people. An element is the simplest type of matter with unique physical and chemical properties. It consists of only one kind of atom and therefore cannot be broken down into a simpler type of matter by any physical or chemical methods, meaning atom is the smallest particle of an element. Each element has a name such as silicon, oxygen, or copper. A sample of silicon contains only silicon atoms. The macroscopic properties of a piece of silicon, such as color, density, and combustibility, are different from those of a piece of copper because the submicroscopic properties of silicon atoms are different from those of copper atoms. That is, each element is unique because the properties of each atoms are unique. Okay, these are some element symbols and source of names. Uranium, U, from the planet Uranus. Titanium, Ti, from mythology Titans. Chlorine, we have Cl, from chloros, meaning greenish yellow, Greek. Iodine, capital I, from the Greek color of violet, which is iodis. Magnesium, Mg, from a mineral called magnesia. Californium, Cf, from California place. Curium, Cu, from Marie Curie and Pierre Curie. Copernicium, which is a symbol of Cn, from Nicholas Copernicus. Okay, this time let's proceed to chemical symbol. Chemical symbols are one or two-letter abbreviation for the name of the elements. Only the first letter of an element symbol is capitalized. If the symbol has a second letter, it is written in lower case so that we know when a different element is indicated. If two letters are capitalized, They represent the symbols of two different elements. For example, the element cobalt has the symbol CO, capital C and small letter O. However, the two capital letters C and O specify two elements, carbon and oxygen. Although most of the symbols use letters from the current names, some are derived from the ancient names. For example, we have Na, the symbol for sodium, comes from the Latin word natrium. The symbol for iron, Fe, is derived from the Latin name ferrum. Here are different names and symbols of some common elements. By the way, class, you can also use your periodic table of elements to learn more about the chemical symbols of other elements. Now let's proceed to our next topic about molecule. What is a molecule? A molecule is an aggregate of at least two atoms in a definite arrangement held together by chemical forces, which is also called chemical bonds. A molecule may contain atoms of the same element or atoms of two or more elements joined in a fixed ratio in accordance with the law of definite proportions. We have here an examples. Hydrogen gas, which has the chemical formula of H2, is a pure element, but it is a molecule made up of two hydrogen atoms. Water, which has a chemical formula of H2O, is also a molecular compound that contains hydrogen and oxygen in a ratio of two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. Like atoms, molecules are electrically neutral, meaning the charge is equal to zero. We have two types of molecules. One is diatomic molecules. These molecules containing only two atoms. We have here some examples. Containing the same elements, we have H2 hydrogen gas, O2 oxygen gas, F2 fluorine gas, N2 nitrogen gas, Cl2 chlorine gas, Br2 bromine gas, I2 iodine gas. We also have diatomic molecules containing different elements. We have HCl hydrochloric acid, CO carbon monoxide. And we have the second type of molecule, the polyatomic molecules. These molecules containing more than two atoms. So examples, we have ozone, O3, containing the same element. We have three atoms of oxygen for ozone, and then combination of two or more different elements. We have H2O for water, NS3 ammonia, CCl4 carbon tetrachloride, and more examples of polyatomic molecules. Okay, let's now proceed to our next topic, ion. What is an ion? An ion is an atom or a group of atoms that has a net positive or negative charge. The number of positively charged protons in the nucleus of an atom remains the same during ordinary chemical changes or chemical reactions, but negatively charged electrons may be lost or gained. Ions can be cation. Cation is an ion with a net positive charge. It is the result when an atom loses an electron. Kindly look at this example. Sodium atom has equal number of protons and electrons, while sodium ion has 11 protons and 10 electrons. That is because in the chemical reaction, the electron from sodium is being given off to chlorine as shown in this figure. Results in a positive charge of sodium, meaning it has more protons than electrons. Next, we have an ion. It is an ion whose net charge is negative due to an increase in the number of electrons. Okay, we have here an example. Chlorine atom has equal number of protons and electrons, but chlorine ion has 17 protons, but we already have 18 electrons. Just look at this figure. So, chlorine atom gain 1 electron from sodium. That is why there is an increase of electrons from 17 to 18. That is why we have negative charge, which means we have more electrons than protons. Next, we have types of ions. Okay, first we have monoatomic ions. These are ions containing only one kind of atom. Examples, we have here monoatomic ions, Na+, H+, Ca2+, Fe2+, Fe3+, El3+. And we have monoatomic anions. We have Cl negative, S2 negative, N3 negative. So again, it contains only one kind of atom carrying a either positive or negative charge. And then we have polyatomic ions. These are ions containing two or more atoms combined to form an ion that has a net positive or net negative charge. These also ions containing more than one atom carrying a charge, and this charge can be positive or negative. So we have here an example. In H4 plus, OH negative, Cn negative. Or you can also say this one here, CO3 negative 2, SO4 2 negative, and we have NH4 positive. So these are examples of polyatomic ions. Again, this contains two or more atoms combined carrying a single charge. Here are more examples of monoatomic and polyatomic ions. Here we have the monoatomic ions, and on the right side we have polyatomic ions. H negative hydride ion, Li positive lithium ion, Ca2 positive calcium ion, Ba2 positive barium ion, N3 negative nitride ion, O2 negative oxide ion, P3 negative phosphide ion, F negative 1 fluoride ion, Fe2 positive iron 2 ion. Then we have polyatomic ions, NH4 positive ammonium ion, CO3 2 negative carbonate ion, ClO3 negative chlorate ion, NO3 negative nitrate ion, OH negative hydroxide ion, PO4 3 negative phosphate ion, PO3 negative 3 phosphite ion, SO4 2 negative sulfate ion, and SO3 negative 2 sulfite ion. Did you understand, my dear students? Okay, let us now have a recap. Okay, in summary, atom is the smallest particle of an element and it has a neutral charge. It is symbolized by a chemical symbol. Chemical symbol is written either in a single letter or two letters. If single letter, it is written in capital letter. And if two letters, the first letter is capitalized followed by a small letter. Ions, on the other hand, are atoms or group of atoms carrying a charge. The charge can be positive or negative. Positive ions are called cations, while negative ions are called anions. Ions can also be monoatomic and polyatomic ions. Monoatomic is single atom carrying a charge, while polyatomic ion is a group of atom carrying a charge. Molecules are composed of two or more atoms bonded together by chemical bonds. It has a neutral charge. It can also be diatomic or polyatomic molecules. Diatomic molecules consist only of two atoms, while polyatomic molecules consist of three or more atoms banded together. Take note, class, that all of the atoms are nonmetals. Okay? And now let us have our short assessment. I want you to get 1/4 sheet of paper and kindly write only the letter of your answer. Okay, here's the questions. Question number 1. What is true about atom? A. Atom is the smallest particle of an element. B. Atom is the smallest particle of a compound. C. Atom is the smallest particle of molecular compound. And D. Atom carries a charge. Number 2. What is the difference between atom and ion? Letter A. Atom has the same number of protons and neutrons, while ion has different. B. Atom has the same number of protons and electrons, while ion has different. C. Atom has different number of protons and neutrons, while ion has the same. And D. Atom has different number of protons and electrons, while ion has the same. Question number 3. Which of the following is an example of ion? Letter A, capital C. B, O2 negative. Letter C, capital C and O. And letter D, NH3. Number 4. Which of the following is an example of molecule? Letter A, CO. Letter B, Pb2 positive. Letter C, CO2. Letter D, CO3 2 negative. Number 5. Which of the following is an example of a diatomic molecule? Letter A, CO2. B, CH4. C, Cl2. And D, H. Number 6. Which one is a monoatomic ion? Letter A, Ca2 positive. B, Hg. C, SO4 2 negative. And D, NH3. Number 7. Which one is polyatomic ion? Letter A, Ca2 positive. B, Hg. C, SO4 2 negative. Letter D, NH3. Number 8. Which of the following is not a molecule? Letter A, NaCl. B. PCl3, C. H2S, D. NO2. Number 9. What is the composition of a molecule? A. Metal and non-metal combination. B. Metal and another metal. C. All are nonmetals. And D. Cannot be determined. Last number 10. Which of the following is a polyatomic molecule? Letter A. O2. B. O3. C. O. And D. O2 negative. Okay, are you done? Okay, let us now check your work. You can check your own paper. Okay, for question number 1. What is true about atom? The answer is A. Atom is the smallest particle of an element. And number 2. What is the difference between atom and ion? The answer is letter B. Atom has the same number of protons and electrons, while ion has different. Number 3. Which of the following is an example of ion? The answer is letter B. O2 negative. And number 4. Which of the following is an example of molecule? The answer is letter C. CO2. Number 5. Which of the following is an example of diatomic molecule? The answer, class, is letter C. Cl2. And number 6. Which one is a monoatomic ion? The answer is letter A. Ca2 plus or positive. Number 7. Which one is polyatomic ion? The answer is letter C. SO4 2 negative. And number 8. Which of the following is not a molecule? The answer, class, is letter A. NaCl. 9. What is the composition of molecule? The answer is letter C. All are nonmetals. And the last number 10. Which of the following is a polyatomic molecule? The answer is letter B. O3. Did you get the correct answer, my dearest grade 9 ST students? Okay, very good, grade 9 ST students. Thank you so much, my dear grade 9 ST students, for your time. I hope you learned something new from this video episode. I'm glad to see you again on my next video lesson. This is again your teacher host, Evelia Sadulio, saying, we heal as one, we'll learn as one through Bayani Hands. Thank you so much.